Okay. All right. Um, this is my customer service rant. No, just kidding. My customer service, how should I say, accolades for Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Atlanta last week. It was my birthday weekend last Wednesday, and I went to my sister's house. Stayed with my sister in Atlanta. My nephew, she stays around Fayetteville and uh, um, Glendale Road, and my mother stays on Candler Road. So I was there last week, and I went to as many uh, African American businesses as I could, patronize. And I must say, as far as Atlanta and all of their restaurants and black-owned businesses and all of their uh, business endeavors, Atlanta, uh, as usual, shows me the most respect. I give the most respect to Atlanta businesses. I went to one business I went to. It was right behind the West End Mall, and It's called Afrocentric, and it's got a lot of um, uh, clothing from Africa, clothing that's made in Ghana, not in China, but in Ghana. And I appreciate all the things, all the uh, bracelets, all the necklace wear, all the shirts, the pants, the dashikis, for the men, women, and children that's placed in there. All the Afrocentric stuff that's placed in there. It's a definite find. If you're on the Western Mall, you'll see this right on the side. It's actually on the side of the Western Mall. Trying to think of the name of the street. It's it's the intersection of Ralph David Abernathy, and the side street goes back going towards Wells Fargo and Church's Chicken. But you'll see it, or you can ask anybody in the mall, and they'll show you where that Afrocentric um, network clothing store is. And when I went in, they made me feel welcome. They told me to look around. They didn't harass me. They didn't have an attitude or anything. So that's one, one black business that I will always go to. Another black business that I went to, African American business, um, uh, it was called Vegan Donuts or Vegan Delight. I got the flyer back home, and it was like the brother had vegetarian donuts in Atlanta. Man, it was so delicious. It was great. The vegetarian donuts didn't have any eggs, milk, or meat byproducts. It's made. He's got a special recipe or a secret recipe, and I appreciate the brother Dread Rasta. But if I'm correct, it's called Vegan Donut Delight or Vegetarian Donut. Um, and I was going to buy a sweater, and I should have bought one from him. But I bought the vegetarian donuts, and I also bought the ginger drink that he makes on his own, and it was fantastic. So if you're in Atlanta, ask anybody about the vegetarian donut delight. And actually, it's right behind the Afrocentric. It's right behind on the little side street of the Afrocentric, um, the Afrocentric store, the department store by the Western Mall. So ask anybody for that vegetarian delight. When I walked in, I said, "Hey, brother, this is my first time coming in." He welcomed me with a smile. He welcomed me with with open arms, and he made me feel comfortable. He wasn't trying to harass me or rush me, or he wasn't impatient with me. He was showing me stuff, and I was asking him questions, and it was a gentleman there that was an older Rasta. He was sitting down, and he was just in there chilling, and when I was buying the donuts, he was like, man, he said, give me one. I told him I give you one after I eat mines. So, but like I said, they made me feel welcome. As far as, I hear a lot of complaints about, I don't want to go to a black owned business because they have the worst customer service. They have an attitude, but, these two businesses, I'm going to name two more. Matter of fact, I'm going to name a few more. These two businesses that I'm starting off with, they welcomed me with open arms. They didn't have an attitude. Their vibe was, the vibe was so positive. The spirits in there were so positive. It was just fantastic. So, like I said, if you get a chance if you visit Atlanta, or if you are a native of Atlanta, if you're living there now or a transplant, go to the African Centra Network or Center Network and go to the Vegan Donuts Delight, because that vegan donuts, man, they taste so good. They taste so good. Now, like I said, it doesn't have, because my nephew, he can't eat peanuts, he can't eat eggs. And I was gonna get him some, but I still was kind of scared, so I didn't get a chance to get him some. But next time I go next month, I live in Charlotte now, but next time I go next month, I'm definitely gonna hit that brother up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call him and see if I can take a video, shoot a video of me going in and getting, looking at, have people look at his shop and, patronize him, support him. So, the next business I'm going to talk about, and that's around the Western Mall too. If you go out the front of the Western Mall, if you're coming out the front on Ralph David Abernathy, and you go to the right of the Western Mall, it's like one block down, and that is Vegetarian Soul Food Restaurant, or Vegetarian Soul Food Restaurant, Vegetarian Soul SOUL Food Restaurant, and that was I had a fantastic customer service experience with that. Black owned. The brother, it was busy in there because a lot of people are trying to eat clean and more vegetarian and eating from the earth. And I had the vegetarian spaghetti, I had the greens, and I had the macaroni and cheese vegetarian. It was so good. It was phenomenal. It was fantastic. And the customer service, the lady, the sister, she greeted me with a smile. She she said, what you want. I think she was from Ghana, or maybe from the Caribbeans, or maybe Nigerian, and she was happy to help me. She wasn't trying to rush me. She wasn't. She was patient with me, and like I said, that was my first time going into that restaurant, and the people in there, the vibe was so positive, the customer service, and mind you, they're not paying me to do this. I'm just letting people know when you're in Atlanta to go to these spots. And like I said, it's right on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard in Atlanta. Again, if you're coming out the Western Mall, not the back of the Western Mall where all the parking is, but out of the front of the Western Mall, and you make a right, and you go down one block. It's called Vegetarian Soul Food Restaurant, and I'm thinking it's maybe owned by some Muslim brothers, but that's no, neither here or there. But the food was excellent. The food was great. It was fantastic. It's nourishing. It filled me up for the rest of the day. I didn't have to eat anything else. I didn't have to uh, uh, eat any fast food or anything or anything. I tried drunk some water. I think I drank some water later on that evening. Um, and that was a fantastic experience as far as the customer service again. They made me feel welcome. I told them this is my first time coming in. They made me feel warm. Like I said, the sister, she asked me what I wanted, and I said, okay, she said, this is your choice, and bada bing, bada boom. So that was a great experience. And then in the soul food, the vegetarian soul food restaurant, they have a juice bar, like right in the next door part, not the next door, like right in the restaurant, but in like on the left hand side of the door, you'll see a juice bar, a juice. You could sit down and order your juice. And I met some fantastic, the brother the brother and the sister that was handling the juice. They were so fantastic. They smiled. They had a great attitude. Me and the other brother, I think his name is Shalom. He made you feel welcome. He smiled with you while he was making the juice. The juice that I had was called Everlasting Life. Oh my goodness, that was like the best, one of the best juice I ever had. And you gotta go patronize this restaurant when you're in Atlanta. Go to this restaurant. It is so fantastic, and the juice bar was fantastic. And like I said, the customer service was excellent. They made me feel warm. I told them, this was my first time in here, and I told one of the brothers that my birthday was like the next day. And matter of fact, in Atlanta, a lot of people pay it forward. I noticed that. I told the brother that my birthday was the next day, and he actually bought my juice for me. So he paid for my juice. So the Everlasting Life was free, for me. But that was one of the best juice I ever had. And because I here in Charlotte, I go to some organic spots here in Charlotte, but that one in Atlanta, you got to go to it. You have to. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. The vibe is there. The pride that they take in, even in the restaurant. The restaurant is clean. The bathrooms are clean. The food is great. The atmosphere is excellent. So that's the second one. Then I went to the Black Power Awards, and that was fantastic. I didn't get a chance to take a video. I have a lot of pictures. I think I took maybe one video, but I have a lot of pictures that me and my sister took. And Griff, he was there. A lot of people won an award, and a lot of other videos were taken. Red Pill was there, Blue Pill was there. I took pictures with them. Young Pharaoh was there. I took a picture with him, and the vibe was excellent. It was packed. No one, how some venues you say, come to this so you can, get a positive vibe, or no fights were going to break out. Nothing broke out. Even when people bumped to each other, people saying, excuse me, brother, I'm sorry, sister, but, it was fantastic. David Banner, he was there, and it was fantastic. So, another restaurant I went to after the Black Power Awards was Sister Mayat, and her restaurant is right down the street, right on Ralph David Abernathy. Her restaurant is right down the street, down the street from the West End Mall, down the street from the Soul Food sole vegetarian restaurant in Atlanta, and her restaurant, it was actually, it's a house. It's a house. She made it out of an actual restaurant. So all organic. I had the kale salad, the kale wrap. I'm sorry, the kale wrap, and another sister was in there. She was telling me, I was asking her because it was a positive vibe in there, and I was asking her, what should I order, and she was telling me, I should order this, I should order that, and I said, well, you know what, I'll get the kale wrap, and I bought the kale wrap, and she actually bought me kale chips because she makes Sister Mayat, she makes kale chips, and you know what? I'm gonna see if I have her card, so I can give you the name of it. I don't want to just say the name, and I don't have the card, but I know I have the card because I've been having it in my pocket since I got back. So, yep, right here. And it's Tassili's Raw Reality Cafe. Tassili's, TASSILI''S Raw Reality Cafe, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's 1059 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, 1059 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. And like I said, the restaurant, it was fantastic to be in there, and the customer service was excellent. It was packed in there. All sorts of races they were in there, eating, because everybody's trying to eat clean and organic now. They're tired of the GMOs. They're tired of the adulterated food. They're tired of the mechanical food. So that her restaurant was excellent. She was at the Black Power Awards also with Sister Lone Wolf. I took a couple of pictures of her and Sister Lone Wolf, the Black Native American, that's at I think Blowing Rock or Standing Rock, over on the on going towards the West Coast, where they're fighting they're trying to stop that gas pipe going through the Indian territory. So yeah, patronize Sister Mayat, and she's a culinary alchemist, meaning that she's a technician or a food scientist for nature. So that's my review, my customer service review of Atlanta businesses starring restaurants. I went to some other ones. Might make another video of the other businesses that I did go to, and all the businesses I went to as far as Atlanta, they were they were friendly. All the African American owned businesses, Nigerian owned, just black businesses in general, they were they were helpful. The customer service was outstanding. They made you feel welcome, especially if you tell them this is your first time, in here. If you don't buy anything, they're not going to get mad. They know that's the nature of business. Some people buy, some people don't, but most of the time, if people coming into their store, it's something that they're going to buy something. So patronize, and support the businesses that are created. I don't know about any other city. I've been to Buffalo, I'm from Rochester, New York, but when I used to go to Gigi's in Buffalo, they made me feel welcome. So, I don't know about other cities because I've heard some rants about customer service in some restaurants in some cities, but my family is from Georgia, so I've been going down. I've been going down to Georgia since I was 6 months old, and I've any other businesses I've experienced, I had no problem with them, and I just had a great experience with the customer service in Atlanta last week. So, and like I said, a lot of these businesses got a customer for life with me, as long as I'm here in the U.S. until I move over to either Ghana or Zimbabwe or South Africa. Okay? All right. Shalom, Ashe, and peace. And assalamu alaikum. And be blessed.